Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to Golden Grace. It's always such a joy to sit down with women who, like me, are navigating life with silver hair, wisdom in our hearts, and a love for feeling stylish at any age. Now, today, we're going to talk about something that may surprise you. It's not about shopping for a new dress or finding the perfect handbag. No, it's about one little detail that has sparked some of the most passionate debates I've ever seen in fashion: whether to tuck or not to tuck our tops. At first glance, it sounds simple, doesn't it? But trust me, this tiny styling choice holds a lot more weight than we think. It's tied to how we view our bodies after 50, after children, after menopause, after years of changing shapes and sizes. It's about whether we choose to hide away or step proudly into the spotlight with confidence. So stay with me, because this discussion may just change the way you feel in your clothes. And before we dive in, I'd love for you to hit subscribe to Golden Grace so you never miss our weekly fashion chats. And tell me in the comments, what city are you watching from? I can't wait to see where all my beautiful friends are tuning in from. Part number 1. Why tucking matters more than you think. Now, let's talk about why this tiny styling choice matters so much, especially for us women in our golden years. You see, the tuck is not just about tidiness, it's about balance. Picture a painting where all the color sits at the bottom, heavy and flat, with nothing to lift the eye upward. It feels unfinished, doesn't it? Well, that same thing happens when we let our tops hang loose over our pants. Instead of showing the shape we've earned through years of living, laughing, and maybe raising children, or working long hours, we disappear into a boxy outline. But when we give a little definition at the waist, whether it's a soft French tuck, a gentle belt, or just choosing the right cut, suddenly we see ourselves again. Our legs look a little longer, our posture feels taller, and the whole outfit says, "Yes, I meant to look this good." And here's the real comfort, my friends. It's not about being skinny, it's about flow. At 60, 70, even 80, a tuck can still bring structure and polish, no matter the size. Isn't that a freeing thought? Part number 2, the emotional weight of the tuck. Here's where things get a little more personal, my friends. For many of us who are over 50, 60, or even 70, our bodies have carried us through so much: childbirth, menopause, long days of caring for others, and of course the natural changes that come with time. When someone says just tuck your blouse, it can feel less like a fashion tip and more like an invitation to show the very part of ourselves we've been taught to hide. Suddenly it feels like holding up a sign that says, "Here's my tummy." No wonder so many women push back. It's not really about the cotton or the waistband. It's about years of messages that told us to cover up, to camouflage, to shrink away instead of taking up space. That's a heavy history stitched into every hemline. And yet, when I speak with women who gather their courage to try, even just once, they often tell me something surprising. They expected to feel bigger, but instead they felt sharper, fresher, even a little slimmer. It's as if a small tuck became a quiet rebellion, reminding us that style after 50 is not about hiding, it's about showing up fully as ourselves. Part number 3, the tools in your tucking toolbox. Tip number 1, the French tuck. Let's begin with the French tuck, a favorite of mine because it's so simple yet so effective. All you do is take the very front of your blouse or sweater and slip just that middle section into your waistband, leaving the sides and the back to fall loose and easy. The result is relaxed but still polished, almost like saying, "Yes, I put thought into this outfit, but I'm not trying too hard." For those of us over 50 or 60, this tuck can be a game changer. It gives our outfits shape without making us feel exposed. It highlights the waist just enough to create balance, while still offering the comfort and coverage we often prefer at this stage of life. Try it with your favorite pair of jeans for everyday errands, or with slacks and a cardigan for lunch with friends. It's one of those small tricks that lets you look modern while still feeling like yourself. Tip number 2, the side tuck. Now, if the French tuck feels a little too front and center, let me share another trick that many of us find even easier: the side tuck. Instead of tucking in the very middle, you simply slip one side of your blouse or sweater into your waistband, letting the rest flow naturally. It creates a soft angle that feels playful and modern, almost like you didn't even try. For women like us who may have softer middles after children, or who simply prefer a little extra comfort around the tummy, the side tuck is forgiving. It doesn't pull tight across the stomach, yet it still gives just enough shape to avoid that boxy look. I love how it makes a simple pair of pants feel instantly more stylish. And the best part? It's comfortable to wear all day, whether you're running errands, enjoying time with the grandkids, or meeting a friend for coffee. It's one of those small choices that reminds us we can be stylish and comfortable at the same time. Tip number 3. The full tuck. And then, my friends, we come to the full tuck. The one that feels the most daring, but can also be the most rewarding. This is when you tuck your blouse or shirt completely into your waistband, all the way around. At first, it might feel like too much, especially for those of us whose bodies have changed with age. Whether it's a softer waistline after menopause, a little roundness from years well lived, or simply the comfort we've grown to love in looser tops. But here's the surprise. A full tuck can actually make us look taller and more polished. It defines the waist, lengthens the legs, and gives the whole outfit an intentional, put-together look. Add a belt for extra detail, and suddenly you've created a focal point that draws the eye upward. This works beautifully with high-waisted trousers, skirts, or even a tailored pair of jeans. And the feeling it gives? Like standing just a little straighter, a little prouder. Because style at our age isn't about hiding, it's about celebrating who we are today. Tip number 4, the half and half tuck. Now, if you're not quite ready for the full commitment, let me introduce you to what I like to call the half and half tuck. This is when you tuck in just the front portion of your blouse, but leave the back hanging loose. It's the best of both worlds. Polish in the front, comfort and coverage in the back. For those of us over 50, this style can feel like a gentle compromise. We still get that flattering shape in the front, showing off a bit of waistline and lengthening the legs. But we don't feel overly exposed around the areas we prefer a little softness. I found it especially handy when sitting at dinner or bending down to pick up grandkids. You still feel neat, but you don't have to fuss with your top every time you move. It's relaxed, practical, and just structured enough to keep us looking chic without losing ease. Sometimes, that little balance is exactly what makes us feel confident stepping out the door. Tip number 5, the faux tuck. And finally, let's talk about the faux tuck, which might just be the easiest trick in our whole style toolbox. Some tops today are designed with a shorter hem in the front and a longer hem in the back, so they naturally create the look of a tuck without you having to do a single thing. It's like the designers knew exactly what we needed, style without the extra effort. For those of us in our 60s and 70s, who may value comfort as much as elegance, the faux tuck is a gift. You still get that little lift in the front that makes your legs look longer, but you don't have to worry about adjusting or feeling constricted at the waist. It works beautifully for casual days when you want to look neat at the grocery store, or even for an evening out when paired with a smart jacket. It's one of those small fashion secrets that lets us enjoy the polished look of a tuck, while keeping the ease and freedom we've earned at this stage of life. Part number 4. What to wear when you refuse to tuck. Now, I know some of you listening are probably smiling and shaking your heads thinking, nope, I'm not tucking anything. Not now, not ever. And let me tell you, that's perfectly fine. Fashion isn't about strict rules, it's about tools, and you get to decide which ones you'll use. If the tuck doesn't feel right for you, there are plenty of ways to look polished and confident without ever touching your waistband. One easy option is choosing tops with high-low hemlines. When the front is a bit shorter and the back drapes longer, you naturally get shape and balance without needing a tuck. Another smart choice is tailoring. Blouses with little darts or seams that skim the body can flatter beautifully even when left loose. And here's a favorite of mine. Cropped lengths, not the teenager kind that bare the belly, but elegant tops that hit just at the hip bone. They keep proportions neat and never overwhelm the frame. And finally, layers can do wonders. Slip on a structured jacket or even a cardigan over your top, and suddenly you've created those long vertical lines that lengthen the body. No tuck needed, yet you still look pulled together. See? The secret isn't about following one method, It's about finding what makes you feel like the best version of yourself. Part number 5, a step-by-step experiment. If you're still sitting there thinking, I'm not sure this will work for me, let me give you a little challenge. Tomorrow morning, when you get dressed, try a tiny experiment. First, put on your outfit just the way you normally do, your blouse or sweater left untucked, and take a good look in the mirror. Notice how it feels, how the shape falls on your body. Then, without changing anything else, do a small French tuck, just slipping the center front into your waistband. Step back and look again. You might be surprised at how your legs suddenly seem a bit longer, or how the outfit looks just a touch more polished. And if you're feeling brave, try the full tuck with a belt. You may see definition at your waist you didn't realize was still there. Now, you don't have to dress this way every single day. Comfort always comes first at our age, but once you see the difference with your own eyes, you'll know if this is a tool you want to keep in your style kit. And honestly, sometimes that little experiment is all it takes to remind us that we still have plenty of fresh, modern looks waiting to be discovered. Conclusion. So, my dear friends, we've come full circle. Whether you're a fan of the French tuck, prefer the ease of a side tuck, or decide to let your tops flow freely, the most important thing is that you feel good in your own skin. Fashion after 50, 60, or 70 isn't about squeezing into trends or hiding behind shapeless clothes. It's about choosing little details that bring balance, confidence, and joy. A tuck is just one of those tools. Nothing more, nothing less. Try it, play with it, and keep what makes you smile when you see your reflection. And before you go, don't forget to hit subscribe to Golden Grace so we can keep exploring these simple, uplifting fashion secrets together.